If you've been watching or listening to my podcast for some time now, you know that I'm an ordained Baptist minister and that my faith in Christ is incredibly important to me. That I believe that Jesus is the Son of God, that Jesus walked this earth, that Jesus was crucified, and on the third day he rose with all power and glory in his hands. And because of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, that I have salvation. And that is all available to me through the grace and the mercy and the love that Jesus Christ extended to a poor, broken sinner like me. But I also believe that in the public square, my faith, how I understand my relationship with Christ, should not have any primacy over anyone else in the public space. And in fact, when it comes to the Christian faith, even among those of us who call ourselves theologically orthodox, there is still great debate about gender roles, gender identity, or as some folks say, biblical sexuality. And I still don't know what that means when across the vast diversity of folks who follow Christ, and in that band of folks who consider themselves theologically orthodox, there's still a great deal of debate about this that I'm not going to get into right now because that's outside the scope of what I want to talk about today. But I say all that to get back to my original point that as an ordained Baptist minister, one of the most important aspects historically and traditionally of the Baptist church is the idea of the separation of church and state. Because the minute we start allowing the state to dictate what proper religious practice is, there's a problem. And when we start as people of faith to want to impose our will, our religious will on others in the guise of good public policy through the apparatus of the state, we have a problem. It defiles faith. It defiles our belief in God because we say we don't trust God enough to transform this world. Therefore, we are going to step into the role of God and impose our will, our faith on others until they believe exactly as we do. That's not faith. That's not belief. That says you don't really believe in democracy because you think that in order for you to win in democracy, you have to impose your will on others. It also says you don't completely trust God. You don't completely trust that God really meant that we're all created in God's image and likeness. It's about saying that a certain group of folks within our society do not have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness because we don't like who they are.